Welcome to my channel Around the World with NBN. So today I am going to talk about how I cracked 𝗬𝗏 in my first attempt. So basically, you may be a health worker and you may be looking for a job in abroad. So if you want to move to some English native speaking countries like UK, New Zealand, Australia, or Canada, so you have to meet their language criteria. So we have two options: 𝗬𝗏 for the health worker especially, and IELTS for the other purpose, and of course for the health worker as well. So I attempted 𝗬𝗏 because I'm a nurse. So in this video I'll be giving some tips and I'll be sharing my experiences. So regarding the 𝗬𝗏 experiences, not regarding the IELTS. So the people are watching or people are preparing for the IELTS, I'm so sorry to say that it's exclusively for 𝗬𝗏. So let's come to the point first. So I've been nurse for last 13 plus 14 years. So I have worked in different organizations as a staff nurse and as well as a clinical instructor or nursing tutor. So for me, I can speak English. It was not much difficult for me from the beginning itself, but that was my confidence at all. But when I joined for a 𝗬𝗏 coaching center, I realized that the speaking ability is not the matter. If you want to achieve the 𝗬𝗏, if you want to crack the 𝗬𝗏, we have to prepare hard than we think, because it's a different kind of modules. I'm not talking about the basics of 𝗬𝗏 that we have this many modules and we have to this many questions and all. I'm not going to talking about that. I'm talking about that those who are watching this video, those who are preparing for 𝗬𝗏, and those who know a basic things about the 𝗬𝗏. So that's the main aim for this video. So I'll always of course I'll share my experiences. So first of all, I can say that joining an institute, it's recommended, but of course by hearing a name of an institute, like you may be seeing many kind of advertising that, see, we have this much of success rate, so we have this many students have passed 𝗬𝗏 through us. This kind of advertisement you might be seeing in the social media and in the online media. So my recommendation is should not rely on the success rate or the advertisement of an institute. This is my first tip. It's a genuine tip, of course, because I joined an institute that I have learned from there. All the institute, those who provide 𝗬𝗏 training, they always provide a basic preparation material and everything. All the institute will do the same thing. So now none of the institute have a special collection of or special tips or special method to crack the 𝗬𝗏, because you can realize that if you scrutinize these results, you can find one thing, like if you notice a particular institution, if they have a success rate, 90% success rate in a particular exam. Suppose consider today is one 𝗬𝗏 exam has happened and a particular institute have 100% success rate in this particular day's exam. Of course, the next day's exam, the upcoming exams, the other institute will be having the success rate than this institute. So always it will be depending upon the ability of the students, those who are appearing the 𝗬𝗏. That is the main thing. So I recommend to join an institute to get training, but along that you have to be in mind that should not rely on the advertisement or should not rely on the institute. So, suppose if a institution advertising that we are providing 100% success rate, and you may be thinking that you can join that institute, and of course I'll crack the OET in the first attempt. So maybe students will be thinking the same way, but everything, the success rate depending on ourselves, how we prepare, how we do the hard work, how we do the things accordingly, then only the success rate will come. So after joining an institute, obviously they were provided all the materials, and the training institute was well and good. Nice trainings was there. Many trainers were very much cooperative, and they will be providing all kind of materials and doubts, and they will of course they will find out what weakness we have. But apart from this, all the things, all the institute will do all those things. So never rely on the institute, but I recommend the joining to an institute. So that for if you join an institute, it will be very useful for you, because you be having some a timetable, like how many modules per day, this many modules you can do. If you are sitting alone, and if you are doing at home, you may be having some you may not get some times. So you may be having some laziness to do some kind of things. But if you join an institute, and if you prepare for the entire days, so the morning till evening, so of course they will give some modules, and you have to prepare for that module because you are sitting at the class. So that is my one recommendation. Don't rely on the institute, rely on yourself. Secondly, what I did is when I joined the institute, I joined for the 2 months course, and the first month I just realized that it is not fit for me, because I can able to speak whatever it is, but I cannot concentrate, I cannot remember things. In the sense, remembering is not the matter here, but still concentration is a very important thing, especially for listening and reading. So listening, it is very important. You have to be concentrate. You have to concentrate on what audio is going on. But normally, what in my mind is, whenever I just hear the listening module, the first 2 or 3 minutes or first 5 minutes, I'll get some concentration. Then gradually it will go down. So I cannot concentrate what they have said, and in my mind something else will come on, like what I'll have at lunch, and at home what will be this and all. So of course you have to improve your concentration. So I can provide one tip for that. What I did is actually from my home, there are at least it will take an hour to reach my institute. So there is a travel time for an hour. So during that journey, I listen the audio health podcast. Audio podcast maybe. Normally I listen the audio podcast, health podcast especially. But this advice everyone will give you, like just listen health podcast. But in that there is a tip, like, see, if you started hearing this audio health podcast, it is not going to help you, like if you simply hear that podcast and all. So first of all, you have to concentrate that podcast. For that I'll tell you, you will not be getting the entire concentration for the entire health podcast. So you have to do one thing. Focus for if you start hearing your health podcast, you do one thing. Focus for 5 or 10 minutes during the initial days. Okay. So initial days you can hear or you can concentrate for 5 to 10 minutes. That much only you will be able to do the concentration, and not more than that. So by 3, 4 or 5 days after, you will get some more, gradually your concentration ability will be increasing. You will notice that. So that time you can increase the time, like in initial time you might be listening for 10 minutes, so you can gradually increase to 15, 20. So at the time of exam, when you reach your exam date, you should be able to concentrate at least for half an hour. So that is the one thing I did to increase my concentration. So that helped me a lot, because I told you during the first month I thought it is not fit for me because I am not getting any concentration. So I did what I said you. I started the listening this health podcast, and I what I do is when I travel, I'll listen the health podcast for 10 minutes, then I'll cut it off. I'll stop listening. Then I'll listen, or I'll see something else. Something else means that is also one important thing. That also I'll tell you. Like for a moment, at least for 2 months, when you are preparing for the OET exam, please try to avoid please try to avoid listening your own language videos or movies or something. Just listen, just watch only English based movies, YouTube videos, or whatever things. So you can listen whatever things you like, because I loved something else, so I watched all those things, and I don't know what you people like. So you whatever things you like based English language, based on their language. So please avoid local language videos, musics and all, because it will divert your mind. So if you particularly stick on to a particular language, and if you daily hearing or daily listening that a particular language, that automatically you will get some improvement that you cannot find, but in your inside of your ability, it will gradually it will increase. So that is one more tip I can provide. Then reading method, it's very difficult for me because I can read everything, and we also obviously we know we can read everything. We know we can pronounce everything, we can read everything, all the words and everything, but we will not be concentrating on what we are reading. So what the problem is, we will be having passages, right? So one particular paragraph we have to read, and we have to understand that particular paragraph, then only we can answer it, right? So if you reading a particular paragraph, then if you are not concentrating it, you cannot answer it, or you can answer it, but you will be having confusion. What is the right answer? A may be right answer, or B also will be right answer. So you'll be having confusion. So improve your concentration ability, like read. At least what I did is, I can provide one more tip regarding the reading. So what I did is, I'll read not much. I won't read not much. So I'll read 2 sentences or 3 sentences. Then I'll stop in initial days. In paragraphs, I won't read the entire paragraph. So gradually, the same way what I did in listening, the same way you can apply it to the reading as well. So the best part is, after reading 1 or 2, 3 sentences, then gradually you will be moving to 3rd and 4th sentences, and obviously after 1 week, you will reach the entire paragraph, and you will be able to understand the things. Then understand the paragraph, read the paragraph, understand the entire meaning of that paragraph. That only will help you to answer the OET questions, because some videos and some people may say like tips. They provide some tips, some shortcuts to get OET. I can tell you one thing: there is no shortcut at all to crack the OET. That means some people will they told me like, see, always the answer will be in first sentence of the paragraph or the last sentence of the paragraph. If you don't find the answers in the first and last, then you have to go for the center. See, there is no things like that. Answer will be, especially the second part, the B part of the reading module. Always we have to concise that paragraph. We have to get all what we have to get. We have to understand the entire paragraph. So then only we have to get meaning of the entire paragraph, then only we are able to answer. So don't go for such kind of tip that will obviously that will use your mark, like that will spoil your reading ability. So that is about listening and reading, what I did for the initial times. Then once you will reach this kind of concentration, or gradually you will increase the concentration. So once you reach a parameter, so then you automatically will be able to read, listen and everything. So I am just reminding one more, like in listening, just listen health podcast, concentrate. Initial days you concentrate for 10 or 5 minutes, then gradually increase the time. The same way the reading, you read 1 or 2 sentences in initial time, then gradually increase your reading ability, and while reading you try to understand the overall meaning of that passage. So this is what I want to share something for normally in speaking and writing method. So one thing I can tell you, that writing is different method. In different institutions they were teaching the different methods. The starting, the introduction para will be different, and body para will be different, and this many words you can use, like this kind of words you can use, this kind of words you don't use. So in some institute they will provide some words you can use. They will say that you can use these words, and some institute will tell you that you don't use these kinds of words. But always rely on your thing, because the one thing I can tell you is, one thing you have to remember, the thing is, don't include irrelevant data. Irrelevant data you just exclude it. Okay, only relevant data only you have to write. So when you include the irrelevant, obviously it will lose your mark. So that is the best thing. And the rest of everything, if you write a neat and clean, and if you the introduction para will be looking very good and it's very meaningful, then obviously you will get mark. So in my class around 53 students were there, so many were writing in very good manner, but in after all, when result comes, the people who wrote the very good manner at class, they lose. They didn't pass the mark. They didn't get even 300 C plus. So we are shocked why it's happening. So that's why I'm telling you, don't rely on a particular method or particular don't stick on to a particular writing method. So just write neatly, just write meaningfully, and don't include irrelevant data. That's enough. Then you will get the mark and you can easily pass. And about speaking. So speaking, once you joined, that is another major reason I recommend you to join an institute, because you will be having some partner to speak. So if you sit at home and you speak alone, then it will be very difficult for you to achieve the quality or achieve the parameters. So if you join an institute, that will be very beneficial for you. You will be having a partner, and you can easily talk with them, you can interact with them. So what all mistake happen to you, so they can easily point out that, so you can improve accordingly. So that is another reason I suggest you to join an institute. So but always, which institute, it is depends on you. It's maybe it will be depend upon how long we have to travel, or what facility they had. Everything will be dependent. That's up to you. I don't mind it. So these are the things I wanted to give information. And is there anything else which I will remember? Obviously I'll be putting some more videos regarding the IET and module wise. So that will be providing in upcoming days in module wise. So we can little more we can say our detailed video. So in future I'll provide some more video about where I am going to apply after my OET, and what method I used to crack my interviews, how was my interviews, what question they asked, and how I process, how I done my processing. Like NMC, I'm trying to go to UK, of course. So what criteria you have to use during the NMC process. This all kind of videos I'll planning to upload in coming days. So support me, support my channel, and if you have any doubt, you can comment in this video, and I'll be replying to you. Thanks for watching the video, and those who are preparing for the OET, best of luck, and just work hard. Obviously you will get, you are not going to lose your mark if you are properly work hard. Okay, so that's all for today. Once again, thank you. Bye bye.